Hello, space explorers. I'm Spacecat-kitty, your friendly feline science teacher. Today we are going on an amazing adventure far, far away in our solar system. Buckle up your seatbelts and put on your imaginary space helmets. Our destination is a mysterious and beautiful blue-green world. We are traveling to the seventh planet from the Sun, a planet named Uranus. It's a very special place, unlike any other planet we know. I have packed my favorite fish-shaped crackers and a thermos of warm milk for the long journey ahead. Are you ready to blast off with me and discover its secrets? Getting to Uranus is not like taking a short trip to the corner store. It is incredibly far away. Imagine you have a super-fast spaceship, one that could travel around the Earth in just a few minutes. Even in that speedy ship, it would take you many, many years to reach Uranus. The distance is enormous, about 2.9 billion kilometers, or 1.8 billion miles. That is so far that it's hard to even picture. Think about it this way. If you could drive a car to Uranus, you would need to drive for thousands of years without ever stopping. It's a good thing my spaceship, the Star Pouncer, is extra fast. As we get closer, you can see Uranus out of the window. It looks like a smooth, pale blue marble floating in the blackness of space. It doesn't have the stormy stripes of Jupiter or the bright rings of Saturn. Instead, it has a calm, quiet beauty all its own. This planet is what scientists call an ice giant. That sounds exciting, doesn't it? It means Uranus is a huge planet made mostly of icy materials and gases. We can't land on its surface like we can on Mars because it doesn't have a solid ground to stand on. It's more like a giant, slushy, gassy ball. Our journey has been long, but it is worth it to see this amazing world up close. The first spacecraft to ever visit Uranus was called Voyager 2. It flew past the planet way back in 1986, long before many of you were even born. Voyager 2 took the very first close-up pictures of Uranus and its moons, sending back incredible information that taught us so much. Before that mission, scientists knew very little about this distant planet. It was just a tiny dot of light seen through telescopes. Now, we are following in Voyager 2's path to learn even more. Let's prepare to enter orbit. Now that we are orbiting Uranus, let's talk about what this giant planet is made of. It's not made of rock like Earth. Instead, it's mostly a mixture of water, methane, and ammonia. Scientists call these materials ices, but they aren't like the ice cubes you put in your drink. Because of the immense pressure deep inside the planet, these materials are more like a hot, dense, soupy ocean. So if you tried to swim in it, you would be squeezed and heated up all at once. The blue-green color of Uranus comes from the methane gas in its upper atmosphere, which absorbs red light from the sun and reflects blue and green light back into space. Deep below the gassy clouds, there might be a small rocky core. Scientists think this core could be about the size of our Earth, but it's buried under thousands of miles of that strange, slushy, icy mantle. Imagine a tiny pebble at the center of a giant, swirling snowball. That gives you an idea of what Uranus is like inside. The pressure there is millions of times greater than on Earth's surface. It's a very strange and extreme environment, and we are still learning about all the amazing things happening deep within this ice giant. It's a planet full of secrets and scientific puzzles waiting to be solved. What about the temperature here? Well, you should definitely pack your warmest spacesuit. Uranus is one of the coldest planets in our solar system. The temperature at the top of its clouds is about minus 224 degrees Celsius, which is minus 371 degrees Fahrenheit. That is colder than any freezer on Earth. It's so cold because it is very far from the sun, so it doesn't get much heat or light. Even though its core is hot, the outer layers are incredibly frosty. This cold temperature is what helps keep the planet's materials in their icy, gassy state. Brr, I'm glad my fur is extra thick. So, Uranus is a giant ball of icy gases with a tiny, rocky heart. Its atmosphere is made of hydrogen, helium, and a little bit of methane. This methane is the magic ingredient that gives the planet its lovely color. Think of it like adding a single drop of blue food coloring to a big bowl of whipped cream. The methane works in a similar way, coloring the whole planet. Understanding what planets are made of helps us understand how our solar system formed billions of years ago. Each planet is a clue, and Uranus is one of the most interesting clues of all. One of the most peculiar things about Uranus is the way it spins. Most planets, like Earth, spin like a top that is mostly upright. But Uranus is different. It's tilted so far over that it spins on its side. Imagine a top that has fallen over but is still spinning. That's Uranus. Scientists think that a long, long time ago, a huge object, maybe the size of a planet, crashed into Uranus and knocked it over. This extreme tilt means that its seasons are unlike anything we experience on Earth. They are very long and very extreme. Because of this sideways spin, a day on Uranus is quite short. The planet completes one full rotation in about 17 hours. So if you lived there, your days would be a bit shorter than they are on Earth. But a year on Uranus is a very different story. It takes Uranus 84 Earth years to make one full trip around the Sun. That means if you were born on Uranus, you would have to wait 84 years for your first birthday. That's a very long time to wait for presents and cake. This long journey is because Uranus is so far from the Sun and has a much bigger orbit to travel. The seasons on Uranus are also incredibly long because of its tilt and its long year. Each season lasts for about 21 Earth years. For one part of its orbit, one of the planet's poles points directly at the Sun. That pole gets 21 years of constant daylight. At the same time, the other pole is facing away from the Sun, and it experiences 21 years of total darkness and extreme cold. Then, as the planet moves along its orbit, the situation slowly reverses. Can you imagine a summer that lasts for 2 decades, followed by an equally long, dark winter? The air or atmosphere on Uranus is not something we could breathe. It is mostly made of hydrogen and helium, which are the 2 lightest elements in the universe. There is no oxygen, which humans and cats need to survive. The atmosphere is also very windy. Scientists have measured winds on Uranus that can blow at speeds of up to 900 kilometers per hour, or 560 miles per hour. That's much faster than the strongest hurricanes on Earth. So even if you could stand the cold, the winds would blow you away in an instant. It's a beautiful but very harsh world. So, could people ever live on Uranus? Based on everything we've learned, the answer is no. There is no solid surface to walk on, the air is not breathable, and the temperature is unbelievably cold. The crushing pressure inside the planet would squash any person or spaceship in an instant. And let's not forget those super fast winds. Uranus is a planet best studied from a safe distance, using our amazing robotic explorers. It remains a world for our telescopes and our imaginations, not for building houses or planting gardens. It teaches us how special and precious our own planet Earth is. As I mentioned, the only spacecraft to ever visit Uranus was Voyager 2. It gave us a quick glimpse of this mysterious world, but scientists are hungry for more information. They want to send a new mission to Uranus to study it in much more detail. A new spacecraft could orbit the planet for many years, just like we are doing in the Star Pouncer. It could also send a probe down into the atmosphere to measure the temperature, pressure, and winds. This would help us understand what really happens inside an ice giant. Planning a mission to Uranus is very difficult and takes a long time. Because the planet is so far away, the journey itself would take over a decade. The spacecraft would need to be very strong and reliable to survive the long, cold trip through space. Scientists and engineers are designing new technologies right now to make such a mission possible. They are hoping to launch a dedicated Uranus orbiter and probe sometime in the 2030s. This future mission could answer so many questions about how planets like Uranus form and change over time. Our adventure to Uranus shows us that our solar system is full of weird and wonderful places. Each planet has its own story and its own unique personality. From its strange sideways tilt to its icy, gassy insides, Uranus is a world that sparks our curiosity. It reminds us that there is still so much left to discover in the vast universe. So, keep looking up at the stars, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring. Who knows what amazing things you might discover one day? Now let's head back to Earth for some well-deserved snacks.